The year is 1965. The world shivers under the iron fist of the Nazi regime. A chilling thought, isn't it? It's a stark departure from the reality we know. This is the terrifying premise of alternate history. We explore the what-ifs that could have reshaped our world. What if Nazi Germany had triumphed in World War II? The very idea sends shivers down the spine. The world would be a drastically different place. Imagine a world draped in the swastika's shadow. Fear and oppression would be the norm. This essay delves into this unsettling alternate history. We will dissect the potential ramifications of a Nazi victory. We'll examine the political, social, and technological landscape of this dystopian reality. Let's step into this unsettling reality, exploring the world that might have been, a world where hope struggles to survive under the crushing weight of tyranny. To understand this alternate history, we must revisit the past. The rise of Nazi Germany was a slow, insidious process. It began in the aftermath of World War I. Germany, defeated and humiliated, faced economic ruin. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to ensure peace, instead fueled resentment and instability. Into this breeding ground of despair stepped Adolf Hitler. A charismatic and ruthless demagogue, he offered simple solutions to complex problems. He preyed on the fears and prejudices of the German people. He promised them a return to greatness, a restoration of national pride. His message resonated with a nation desperate for hope. The Nazi Party, once a fringe group, gained power at an alarming rate. They exploited the weaknesses of the Weimar Republic, Germany's fragile democracy. By 1933, Hitler had seized control, transforming Germany into a totalitarian state. The world watched with growing unease, but few could have predicted the horrors that would follow. In our timeline, World War II was a brutal conflict that ended with the Allied victory. But in this alternate reality, key events unfold differently, tilting the balance of power. Imagine, if you will, a world where Hitler's gamble on a blitzkrieg strategy against the Soviet Union succeeds. The Soviet Union, caught off guard and overwhelmed, collapses. This victory would have been a turning point. With the Eastern Front secured, Germany could focus its full might on the West. The United States, hesitant to intervene in another European war, remains distant. Britain, isolated and under constant bombardment, is forced to negotiate a peace. The fall of Britain would send shockwaves across the globe. The United States, facing the prospect of a Nazi-dominated Europe, would be forced to accept an uneasy truce. The world, now under the dominion of the Third Reich, braces itself for a new era. The world reshaped the Nazi vision of global domination. Victory in World War II would have been just the beginning for the Nazis. They had grand, terrifying visions for the future. Their goal? A world reshaped according to their twisted ideology. Imagine a world where the Nazi ideology reigns supreme. The Aryan race, considered superior, would rule over all others. Lebensraum, the concept of living space, would justify ruthless expansion and subjugation. Eastern Europe and Russia would become vast colonies exploited for their resources and manpower. The Nazis' obsession with racial purity would reach new heights. The Holocaust, already a horrific genocide, would have continued unabated. Jews, along with other undesirables, Roma, LGBTQ+ individuals, political dissidents, would face systematic extermination. The world would become a much darker, crueler place. Twisted science-technological advancements under Nazi rule. History shows that war often accelerates technological progress. Even in our timeline, World War II led to advancements in fields like computing and rocketry, but in a world where the Nazis prevail, these advancements would serve a darker purpose. Imagine the V-2 rocket, a terrifying weapon in its own right, further developed into an intercontinental ballistic missile. The Nazis, obsessed with technological dominance, would pour resources into creating weapons of unimaginable destructive power. But it wouldn't be just weaponry. The Nazis' perverse ideology would seep into all aspects of scientific research. Eugenics, the twisted science of racial improvement, would be pursued with chilling fervor. The very fabric of humanity would be at stake. The price of conformity, daily life, in the grip of tyranny. In this alternate 1965, the world bears little resemblance to our own. This is a world where fear and paranoia are woven into the fabric of everyday life. The Gestapo, the Nazi secret police, would maintain an iron grip on society. Surveillance would be omnipresent, with informants lurking in every shadow. Imagine a world where freedom of speech is but a distant memory. Books, music, and art are all subject to strict censorship, reflecting only the approved Nazi narrative. Education would be used to indoctrinate children with Nazi ideology. Critical thinking would be stifled, replaced with blind obedience. Resistance, though dangerous, would undoubtedly exist. Whispers of dissent would echo in the shadows. But in this world of pervasive surveillance and brutal repression, the fight for freedom would be a perilous one.